My name is Michael Garvey, and I'm doing Chapter 12 on arousal regulation. Uh, Basically, it's going to be studying what causes us to respond the way we do, and are our responses actually controllable, and can we intertwine those to have optimal functioning as athletes and maybe even as students. First off, we have three different techniques within the somatic system, and that's progressive relaxation, breath control, and biofeedback. We're going to get into these a little bit further and see how these can be used. We have cognitive anxiety reduction, and what this involves is three elements. The first one, though, is autogenic training. This is where you basically need to relax your whole body, imagining feelings of warmth, as it says, heaviness, relaxation, being in a positive state of mind. The next two that relate to the cognitive anxiety reduction for that control is relaxation training and systematic desensitization. Relaxation is quiet mind, autogenic training is to produce physical sensations, and systematic desensitization is to become not nervous when nervous stimuli presents itself. In our research here, we have Howland, who spoke about the mental skills in his article and touched upon multiple techniques. Some are stating that it can be very important improving athletic performance so that the athlete can function at optimal levels. Continuing with somatic, it refers to the ways that can be used to decrease the naturally occurring physiological responses that come along with anxiety, such as increased heart rate, breathing, etc. So when a nervous person has these, we look at techniques to decrease and reverse them. Then we get into using this and how it relates to the actual book itself. So there's three subcategories: relaxation response, autogenic, and systematic, like we talked about. Howland discusses the impact on attention and how crucial this is, and that the arousal levels influence athletes' cognitive function. The application of both Howland's article itself and the actual chapter is to not only learn about how to regulate arousal, but interestingly, how they can control the response of the athlete, and to see if we can use both of those intertwined to provide optimal functioning for the athletes themselves. In a study done by Bach et al., they employed motion regulation strategies to enhance his performance under pressure, and they also used various biofeedback scenarios. This article, Coping Under Pressure, itself, deals with emotional regulation strategies to cope with appropriate arousal, and basically the fight or flight response, and we want to see if we can avoid that whole choking under pressure. Cognitive reappraisal method itself is very important. This is something where you can help arousal control and connect it with the autogenic training, such as a championship game for soccer, and someone has the final shot in penalty kicks. Rehearse that mentally in the feelings of warmth, but instead rehearse what the feelings you get in that scenario to be successful at it. The actual life applicable is that everyone can easily apply these instructions at a time and event that produces the stimuli that brings those responses. So basically, if we can use what's applied in this study and use it moving forward, we can perhaps use it, not only how to use it in golfers in the study, but use it in all athletes, such as the ETBU tennis team. Two different approaches to get to the same result, essentially, is what this is. Two different avenues, basically, to get to the same thing. But it's important that arousal to attention connection is met. In my future profession as an orthopedic surgeon, though, there'll be a high pressure situations. Therefore, my personality specifically for my own self is going to involve me having a complex skill set, and there'll be a lot of challenges and pressure with me being a surgeon. I can use my cognitive reappraisal methods and techniques, though, to reinterpret stimuli that may elicit or provoke a reaction that could be negative, affecting my doctor to patient interactions. This will ensure that I always am showing compassion and always at the top of my game when my nerves are going to be under control, when I would be in the OR and I could be experiencing pressure or feelings of nervousness, because that's just not an option when I'll be in there with my patients that I'll be taking care of. It's also important, wrapping up here, that the somatic and cognitive arousal regulation, that they're measured with specific biofeedback instruments. They both use relaxation approaches, and the combination approach, though, of somatic and cognitive seems to be the best benefits provided. When you find the optimal arousal level, which is what these research articles we're talking about along with the book, that's what's key. We need to find out how to get there and then how to maintain it. So we never want to be too high and never want to be too low. We want to make sure that we use relaxation, autogenic, and systematic desensitization for the cognitive aspect, and then we want to use the progressive relaxation, the breath control, and the biofeedback for the somatic. We want to see that they overlap together because they both employ a relaxation technique. It's just a matter of how they're used. They're all used, though, to achieve the same result. It's very important that they use these strategies effectively and find out what works for the specific individual, because everyone is different, as we know, and we want to make sure that's individually tapered to what that person needs to produce the optimal functioning.